children. Make everyone at home very jealous that they are not here. Bust out those cell phones, tweet, take pictures, and use hashtag WWOhioCC and use that Frankly Chat app because this guy, of course you know him from Fear Clinic. Of course you know him from the last showing. Of course you know him from B. And of course you know him as a master of your dreams, a master of your nightmares, Mr. Freddy Krueger himself, Robert Englund!
My children now, trick or treat, brats!
Well, you guys should know how this works by now. We have a microphone here and here. Line up, ask questions, to keep it to one question per person. And normally I say don't make it too weird, but I think this guy can handle it.
Oh, I can handle it. I just want to pimp one movie that's on right now. It's my Halloween gift to all the fans. It's not strictly horror, but it certainly qualifies as a hardcore thriller. Last showing is on demand now, and some fans have told me you can get it on iTunes. I'm really proud of it. Some of the best work I've done in the last 20 years, so check it out, because you gotta wait till February for the Fear Clinic. All right, first question.
All right, right over here. Hi.
Hi, I have a question for you. Been a big fan for a long, long time. You've been scaring me since I was about 6 years old, made me cry, gave me nightmares. My question is, what was it that scared you or gave you nightmares when you were growing up?
Well, I had a couple. One was from a movie. Actually, both were from a movie. As a child, when I was a kid, they had double bill matinees for kids in the afternoon, especially on Saturdays and Sundays. And at some point in the afternoon, the films changed to the adult programming. And I don't mean adult like porn channel adult. I mean, it was just a grown-up movie. And I'd gone to see a cowboy movie with Anthony Quinn. I think he was the old gunfighter, you know, and all the young gunfighters wanted a piece of him or something. And I couldn't have been more than 7.5 or 8 years old. And the movie, instead of it being my little cowboy movie with my Chico's bonbons and my box of buttered popcorn, it turned out to be an old warhorse of a Broadway play made into a movie called The Bad Seed. And the star of the movie is a little blonde girl named Rhoda. And she has blonde braids. And the movie opens with her pounding the little fingers of a boy at the edge of a pier on a lake in summer camp. And she's pounding his hands and he slips off the pier and into the water of the lake, never to be seen again. And when they find his body, the only clue is on the back of his hands were the images of half moons from her little tap shoes. Well, the movie just gets scarier and creepier. It's very talky, it's black and white, it's based on a play, so it's quite static. But the performance by the lead actress, who I met later on as an adult, is brilliant. And for about 4 years, I had to sit behind a girl alphabetically in elementary school. Her name was Earnhardt, I'm Englund, and she had braids, and it freaked me out. So I was afraid of braids from the movies, and then I saw a war movie. I loved war movies when I was a little kid, because when my generation, when we were kids, we were closer to World War II, and our fathers had been in World War II, and so we liked to see movies about it. And I went to see a movie by the famous author Norman Mailer. And again, I wasn't supposed to be there. I was supposed to be watching, a Disney movie or something, and it changed at like 3 in the afternoon or 4 in the afternoon. And it's a famous novel, Naked and the Dead, and a famous horror movie about warfare in the South Pacific, not unlike the one that's right out now, Fury with Brad Pitt. Very, very violent, very prestigious war film. And I'm sitting there, little Robbie Englund, with my hot buttered corn, and my M&Ms. I think they only came in 2 flavors back then. And I'm sitting there, and this movie was on, and like about a third of the way into the movie, a GI is bit by a green tropical snake. And he dies the most violent death in the history of cinema. I mean, pus comes out of his ears, pus comes out of his nose, pus comes out of his eyes, everywhere. And I'm watching it, I'm shell-shocked. So for the rest of my life, I'm petrified of snakes. I don't even like to go near the reptile section, at the zoo. And then a couple of years ago, when you're a horror movie actor, you eventually do your Killer Bee movie, and you eventually do your giant alligator movie. I've done 3. And you eventually do your giant snake movie. I've done 1. Me and Jenny McCarthy. We work with a big giant snake. And Jenny's, I think, handled a lot of big snakes in her life. But anyway. I didn't mean that. No, I'm teasing Jenny. But I played the old herpetologist, the snake expert. And I looked sort of like, Colonel Sanders. And I dyed my hair white because my hair I didn't have a gray beard then. And they gave me a baby python in a sock with a shoestring on it. And I wore it under my arm to keep it warm because they liked the body warmth. And I played with it in the movie. It was like my prop. It was like like having a parrot on your shoulder. If you're a pirate, I had the little snake. It was my little pet snake. Well, I got over my fear of snakes. But it took a horror movie, a cheesy low-budget horror movie, for me to get over my fear of snakes. So